Since the onset of the COVID pandemic back in March of 2020, Father Jack Sheaffer, pastor of St. Thomas the Apostle Parish in West Springfield, has been producing a daily Mass and Sunday liturgy that he posts to the parish's YouTube channel. What began as something temporary to help his parishioners during the height of the pandemic has really grown and attracted quite a following. I recently sat down with Father Jack to talk about how, over the course of almost 2 years now, he's developed such an impressive production. You might call him a one-man band. Videographer, lighting and sound technician, behind the scenes, and in front of the camera. Father Jack Sheaffer's been producing a Mass each day since the pandemic began.
When I first started, it was just one camera. And it was on an iPhone, and it was balanced on a cardboard box and a wastebasket, an upside-down wastebasket.
It was a response to serve a very urgent need during an uncertain time. So it was March of 2020, and all of a sudden the world just came crashing to a halt. The pandemic hit, and people couldn't go to Mass. You couldn't celebrate Mass for your parishioners. What was going through your mind at the time?
Well, I wanted to get Mass online, and we didn't have the speed of internet to do a live stream, which was a good thing because my first 20-minute Mass took me about 12 hours to record. I had to learn every little thing, just how to set up the camera, everything. There's just too many details. But I knew that we had to have something for the people. So I know I recorded 1 or 2 daily Masses before the Sunday Mass. And that was in our dining room, actually a little room off of our dining room, a little sunroom. And that's where I started for the first several weeks.
As the months went on and everyone realized that COVID wasn't going away anytime soon, Father Jack's expertise grew. He started adding graphics and music, and his audience grew as well.
This was just trial and error, looking at Chalice of Salvation, different techniques they use, like panning over the book and things like that. And for whatever reason, I have absolutely no idea why, it just caught on with an awful lot of people.
Viewers now come from at least 60 different countries: Singapore, Ireland, England, New Zealand, Australia, the Philippines, India. And there's thousands of them. 24,000 to 26,000 for daily Mass, and each Sunday, 50,000 to 52,000 faithful. And in nearly 700 Masses, Father Jack has never missed a day. This has to be taking up so much of your time, and you're a parish priest, you also have a school. I mean, I do this for a living full time, and I know how much time it takes. So
yeah, it takes me about 16 to 19 hours a week to produce 7 Masses. And that is a lot, and it does take a huge chunk of time, but hopefully not to the detriment of other ministries in the parish.
But you're also, when you think about it, if you reach 60 countries, you're in effect being a pastor to people all over the world.
I suppose up to an extent. I hope they still have connection with their own parishes and with their own priests. For whatever reason, I just don't know why this particular Mass has hit home with a lot of people. Some people have said the length is just right. I've actually had somebody, they said, I can't pay attention for more than a half hour. And because, the daily Mass obviously is a little shorter, but we limit the Sunday Mass because we also record for our local access channel, and that has to be 30 minutes.
Father Jack says he's definitely learned how to streamline his production, even giving himself cues like raising an arm to help later on in the editing process. What's the best part about it for you? Like, what's brought you the most satisfaction or the most joy from this?
I think knowing that so many people have found it helpful for them in their faith lives. I think, sometimes people are in a parish and they either struggle with the priest or they struggle with something. But to know that people can, if they don't like the Mass that we're doing, that they can find another one that speaks to them better. one thing's for sure, you know, we're all Catholics and a lot of things are the same, but people do have their own preferences and whatnot. And, you know, if we can offer something that helps people to have a prayerful experience of the Eucharist, you know, even though it's not the same as being in person, but it's still helpful to them and, you know, a meaningful worship experience, then, you know, that's why we do it. So, yeah, so that's what makes it worthwhile.
If you haven't seen Father Jack on YouTube yet, we have a link to the Parish's channel at iobserve.org.